And we're going to start this Saturday evening with a major breakthrough in efforts to eliminate chemical weapons in Syria. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Russian counterpart say they have reached an agreement on how the Syrian government would turn over chemical weapons. Richard Reeve has been following those developments, and he joins us now from the newsroom with what both sides are saying tonight. Richard.
Well, Candace, both sides believe this agreement will pressure Syria to give up its chemical weapons. But there's still no response from Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. And the requirements of the U.S.-Russia plan in the midst of a civil war will be a challenge.
Thank you.
It's being called a diplomatic breakthrough, a joint U.S.-Russia plan to keep Syria from ever using chemical weapons again.
The combination of the threat of force and the willingness to pursue diplomacy helped to bring us to this moment.
It's an ambitious, challenging timetable. Syria must hand over a list of its chemical stockpiles and weapons within a week. UN inspections would be completed by November. By the same month, chemical production and filling facilities would be destroyed.
The common goal of liquidating and destructing all arsenals of chemical weapons, but also to avoid the military scenario.
All this taking place in the midst of a civil war that's claimed over 100,000 lives. U.S. authorities believe last month's suspected chemical weapons attack killed 1,400 people. We will never leave our country, this Damascus woman says, even if they slaughter us and kill us. But the notion of a deadline could make all the difference.
At least there is a definitive timeline which everyone understands, so this cannot drag out for a long period of time.
The plan would eliminate chemical weapons from Syria by mid-2014. But there's another hurdle. U.S. intelligence officials say there are more than a dozen suspected chemical storage sites, and it's unclear where they are.
They're worried that these weapons could fall into the wrong hands. They're worried that these weapons might be used.
Even with satellite tracking and spies on the ground, the U.S. has to verify that the entire stockpile has been removed. And for now, President Obama is keeping the military option open.
And since this plan emerged only with a credible threat of U.S. military action, we will maintain our military posture in the region to keep the pressure on the Assad regime.
Now, the Assad regime has said it's willing to give up its chemical weapons in order to avoid a U.S. airstrike. Experts say it could take billions of dollars and at least a decade to remove Syria's 1,000 tons of chemical weapons. The U.S.-Russia agreement says if Syria fails to comply, the two sides would agree to a UN Security Council resolution allowing for the use of force. In the newsroom, Richard Reeve, News Channel 8.